Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Nichijou episode 16. In the last episode, we got kind of a normal thing. Again, normal thing for this anime. It's kind of going back to this routine, let's say. And I said routine because, yes, there are things that you do not expect. Again, one of the funniest jokes, at least for me, was from the last episode, which was hilarious. Genuinely hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing just at the memory of the joke. And yeah, perhaps it's only me or a bunch of people that find that so funny. But I think that it speaks volumes either for me or either for the show. Anyway, yeah, we're going to see now more Nano in the school, which again is something I wanted to see. And we're kind of preaching this as the norm, as the normality. And that's what I meant when I said that the anime returned to his normal run. Because yes, a couple of episodes we receive a couple of bombshells that really, really shake me in the best way possible, in the most positive way. Because genuinely I was so happy with those episodes. And even though I have seen funnier episodes than those, the feelings that those gave me were just so marvelous that I could not put them below my favorite episodes. Anyway, I am saying way too much in this presentation. Let's just cut all of these and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 16th episode of Nichijou. And yes, as I said in the previous, as I said in the presentation of the video, it felt like kind of entering into normality again for this show. Yes, we're going to receive crazy jokes, but our base for them is going to be pretty normal. School, professor, other stuff. So yeah, we're going to keep them separated. Now with the addition obviously to the school ground, the addition of Nano to the school ground. But of course, the show has to just smack me in the face that no, there is nothing normal about this show. And that's true. I should really stop saying that word around this show or to talk about this show. Because, yes, the jokes always land so perfectly for this show and it's unbelievably funny. Yeah, we start kind of again with the existential crisis of Nano, because yeah, she still doesn't want to be a robot. She doesn't want to be portrayed as a robot, but she is a robot. And even though she is refusing one of her dreams, because yeah, she was very enthusiastic, kind of playing that out in her mind before entering the school. Now that that happened, it's not so funny for her because they believe, or she believes that they are going to find out that she is actually a robot. So yes, it is still kind of weird for me to say this, that yeah, actually somebody is going to discover that she is a robot. Which actually, if you pay attention to the show, several people have discovered that. Yuko technically discovered that, even though she doesn't believe it herself. But of course, the professor in the school also discovered that she is a robot, and in a very, very creepy way wanted to kidnap her and study her, which is, yes, utterly, utterly creepy. Fortunately, we only saw one time the professor in a very short amount of time. And now in this episode, the jokes took place in different places, in food places, outside of the school, but that students always hang around. In this case, the first one was a coffee shop that really reminded me kind of, well, not that exaggerated as in the show, but the first time I went to Starbucks, is, you know, you're used to saying small, medium, large. That's it. When you're speaking about drinks, you're speaking about anything. You say, oh, I want a small something, or I want a medium something, or I want a large something. In Starbucks, it's completely different, of course, and they bring something different to the ground. And this is exactly my guess as to what they are trying to do. They're trying to make fun of a Starbucks without saying Starbucks. And yes, poor Yuko was the recipient of all this new information. The short towel, and I don't want to know what the hell is the other side. But yeah, she's completely confused, and every time she receives new information, it's kind of an attack, and direct attack, and I love that joke. And hell, even thanks to this little short, I learned something new, that doppio is actually a type of espresso. I didn't know that. I knew that espresso are supposed to be small quantities, very bitter for you to wake up for all the amount of caffeine that is in there. But I didn't know they have the doppio and the solo. And doppio, turns out, a little bit of reading. I didn't investigate as much, but yeah, I did a little bit of reading. Again, this is information from the Wikipedia. Doppio espresso is a double shot extracted using a double coffee filter in the portafilter. This results in 60 milliliters of drink, double the amount of a single shot espresso. That is what is a doppio. I had no idea what the hell was that. I genuinely thought that it was just a made-up term and it was going to be a word, an Italian word for, I don't know, for single size or for even bigger size or something. I genuinely thought that, but no. That is actually a term for an espresso or a type of espresso. Yeah, you learn something every day. Anyway, yeah, we saw the struggle, and poor Yuko had no idea what an espresso was, and of course, a tiny cup, a very small amount of coffee, and very, very bitter coffee. That was the perfect moment for a poem for Yuko, but she didn't deliver. I was waiting for the moment because, man, she is so good at that. Anyway, yeah, we move on. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me today. We move on to the next scene, in which is the vice principal and his grandson. Why am I confusing this? Okay, never mind. And they are playing baseball. Well, more than catch, more than baseball, actually. But yeah, I was waiting for the joke that is going to be, yeah, the obvious one that is not going to be reaching the ball, or the not so obvious one that is going to be thrown so hard, because yeah, the grandson is such a master genius at baseball that he's capable of throwing that amazing ball. Of course, we got the second joke, which was great, honestly. And we got a small joke again with poor Yuko, which is asking for some fried chicken or something like that, but she was denied in a very, I don't know, stupid way. Of course, you could just run away crying. And in my opinion, one of the best jokes of the episode, when a police officer is trying to find counterfeit bills, of course. But yeah, at first Yuko just apologized because, yeah, it's Yuko. But Mio is kind of getting nervous because they are looking into her bag. Obviously, your first thought, oh my god, she is the counterfeit artist that is behind all of this. But then you start to remember what she's good at. And the amazing drawings that she made before. And you start to see, oh, this is where this is going. And yes, that is exactly what happened. We saw the yaoi drawings of Mio, and she reacts in such a violent way, committing a huge crime, hitting a police officer, then of course hitting Yuko. After one of the best expressions I have seen from her, and of course the background, that was gorgeous, that was beautiful. And not only her, then an old man who tried to read that, hit him again, a kick, and then of course the goat. And of course, it's just a kind of wrestling movement. It was pure poetry, man. The animation quality in this freaking segment, I love it. I love every single bit of this. Later on, of course, she regrets doing all of this because, come on. And she refused to go out of her room. We go back to the goat. I don't remember the name of the goat. Oh god. No, Kojiro. The name of the goat was Kojiro. Again, a very ridiculous short scene, short sketch. And yes, I just moved for like a second. I didn't know the joke that was there. Of course, it was just the goat going off and of course hitting his master. completely and utterly ridiculous. Then, of course, we got kind of again the insecurities of Nano, which you say, "Oh man, this is not correct. I am a robot. I should be going out quickly." Then, of course, we return to the restaurant, and both trying to get an eraser from Yuko. It's not working because she obviously wants to play a game. But I love the ways they try to make her open her hand. First, damaging the hand thanks to the sun power. Then, of course, tricking her into doing something else, into grabbing food or something or another. And, of course, in the end, they deceive her by playing rock, paper, scissors. And, yeah, in the end, it was a figure-based eraser, which is obviously they are not good at because, yeah, those things are hard to work with. They find Nano, and she's kind of looking kind of sad in the background because, yeah, oh, perhaps she's a robot, and continue saying that robot. And even some of them say, oh, please don't say that because your Nano doesn't like that. And then, of course, we got the heartwarming scene. Oh, well, no, before that, of course. Again, the romantic story of the romantic subplot, those are very cute, very well animated, and very pretty drawings that we have there. And then we find out who is the father of the Mohawk guy. And, of course, he has a Mohawk, but, of course, he brushed it in a certain way so it is not noticeable. And we understand now our Mohawk guy. It's a family trait that, yeah, it's inevitable for this family. Then, of course, now we really encounter the heartwarming moment in which, obviously, Yuko is going to visit Nano to say something. Oh, well, in this moment, we don't know what is she going to do in that house. While Nano is trying to hide her house because, again, she doesn't want to be figured out as a robot, the professor doesn't care, opens the door and lets Yuko inside. Of course, Nano is trying her hardest to hide all the oddities that are in her house. Yeah, it is kind of funny to see how trying to silence Sakamoto, trying to make the professor not confess that she's a robot and that she made her. All those weird things, and even how Sakamoto kind of say, okay, I will play along. And he's very sarcastic, but he really likes or even loves Nano and the professor. Even if he say one is a brat and the other one is a complete freak. But anyway. And yes, of course, we see how the professor and Yuko kind of hang out and they get along so well. They are so happy together, and of course they say, or kind of discover that Nano is a robot, and they start playing random stuff, and yeah, both are very genuinely happy, because yeah, they're kind of the same type of personality that they enjoy ridiculous stuff. But the greatest moment in this episode, not the funniest, the greatest moment in this episode is in the end when Yuko just goes to her house and they start to say, oh no, well, Nano starts to say, oh no, these are just magic tricks and all that. I am not a robot. And I love this moment, and I love Yuko for this reason. For many other, but this is one of the main reasons I love Yuko. Say, oh yeah, I knew that. You are Nano. You are Nano. You are yourself. And yeah, sure, we can hang out, all that. And this is in the moment in which Nano discovers that Yuko is not going to abandon her just because she's a robot, even if she's a robot or even she's not. Because she wants a friend. Yuko wants a friend and say, okay, yeah, Nano seems cool, let's be friends. I love Yuko for that. And this is such a heartwarming moment for Nano and for me and for everybody. Oh man, it's so cute. In which, again, how Nano discovers that, yes, this is friendship. Yes, you can be silly, you can be annoying, but in the end they will like you because you are you. And it doesn't matter for them. I love this sentiment. I love it. And man, it's especially heartwarming when it coming out of this anime, which at the beginning I thought were just a bunch of random jokes. But of course, thanks to the evolution of the show, we kind of see that is not the case. Yes, all the heartwarming when the professor is saying, "Oh yeah, you're welcome to come back." Nano say this obviously, and everybody kind of embrace. I love it, and I love the end how Sakamoto speaks even though he's not supposed to be speaking. And yes, but this is something I wanted to say from the beginning, that this anime surprised you in the best way possible. Because yes, the random humor is awesome, it's great. It's one of the funniest animes I have seen so far. But it doesn't mean it's brainless humor. No, they have their moments. And these moments are so much greater because you expect something funny, you expect something silly, and they give you something warm. I love this show for those moments. And for the funny moments too. This is the whole package. And the quality of the animation. It's one of my favorite shows. Nichijou has become one of my favorite shows of anime history. I genuinely love it. I genuinely love Nichijou for that reason. But anyway, yeah, I think I exhausted the topic of this episode. I'm going to start to ramble a lot more if I continue. So, yeah, the only thing I have to say is thank you for your attention. And, well, see you on the next one. Bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and yes, thank you so much for your attention, guys. And as always, if you want to leave a comment, that will help me a lot more. If you want to give me a like, that will help me even more to get on the top of the recommendation for YouTube. And if you want to share this video, that will help me even more. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.